want to make a beautiful necklace to wear in the spring and summer months. I'm calling this my sunshine necklace. I want this necklace to be light and airy, but I don't want it to be completely translucent. So I'm using some aquamarine that is opaque, and I'm also using some biwa pearls in a peacock color to give it an anchor. The dark color will anchor the necklace. I've got my pattern laid out according to what I made already. The center bead down here is a pink watermelon tourmaline. So this is the center stone, and then going up the sides, I have the various beads with the toggle clasp on the end. To make this necklace really sparkly and beautiful, I'm using different kinds of spacers. The first spacer that I'm using are these. They're so pretty. They have little ridges on the outside. They come in different sizes. I'm also using just a plain round gold spacer bead. And I'm also using some of these long tubular beads that are spiraled. They're so sparkly and shiny. I'm using Beadalon 49 strand. I need some crimp beads, my flush cutters, and a crimper. The first thing I'm going to do is cut my wire 24 inches, and this is going to make a 17-inch necklace for me. Okay, starting with my stringing wire, I'm going to put a clip on the end so my beads don't fall off. And I've arranged my pattern, so I'm going to start off with one larger spacer bead and then the smaller one. Then I've got my spiral tube. I've got another small bead, freshwater pearl. This is about 8 millimeters. Another bead, my another spiral, and then when I get to this peacock bead, this is center drilled from top to bottom, so hopefully the wire will go through here. Good. Let's continue on with our bead, our spiral, bead. This is a watermelon tourmaline, and this is one of the colors that are more clear than pink or green. We've got another bead, spiral. This is rose quartz. Another spiral. Okay, let's see what we have so far. So far we've got this. So pretty. Okay, let's continue on. I've got my spacer, and I'm using this decorative spacer with the ridges. I need to break up the design so it doesn't look so predictable. Another pearl. I've got my large ridge spacer. And then for this one, I'm using the aquamarine, and these are the raw tubes. Once we get to the keshi pearls, we're going to put it right through the top. These are top drilled pearls. So I've got one like this, and then the second one that I put on, I have to arrange it so it's not like this. I want it to be like this to fill in this gap, and also it looks better on the necklace. So I've got my spacer, my tube, another spacer, and then I'm going to use the decorative bead, and then my pink watermelon tourmaline. This is a large, this is a 10 millimeter. It's got the hues of pink in it. Another ridge spacer, small spacer, my tube, bead, and ridge. Okay, let's see what this looks like now. Okay, so starting at the top, it looks really pretty. So we're going to keep going. Okay, we've got our freshwater pearl. Then we've got that decorative ridge spacer. Another bead. Oops. Another tube. A smaller bead, and then I've got another decorative ridge spacer, and I've got a green watermelon tourmaline. I don't know if you can see the green in it. This is also 10 millimeters. Got ridge spacer, bead, and I've got the keshi pearls again to anchor the necklace. Let's put both of these on, and then we can flip it around. So you want it to go like that. Then we're going to go with our bead. And it looks like I put a decorative spacer here, so let me grab that one. Another bead. Our spiral. Bead. We've got the pink translucent watermelon tourmaline. Another bead. Pearl. We've got our aquamarine tube. Rose quartz. And then we're almost done. I need a bigger bead for the last one, because when I come back around with my wire, I need to be able to push it through the bead. Okay, so I've got one larger bead. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Pretty, pretty. So measuring out this necklace, I have the bottom watermelon tourmaline as the center stone. That's going to go in the center of my neck. And then coming up here, this is the beginning of the necklace and the ending, but the center stone doesn't reach 17 inches. It's a little shy of 17, and I don't want to put an extension on here, so I'm going to add, to drop this down a little bit, to make it 17 inches. I'm going to add a couple of more beads here at the end. So I'm going to add 2 more beads to each side of my necklace, followed with a bigger bead at the end. Same on this side. 2 more smaller beads. And a larger bead at the end. Okay, that's perfect. The center bead comes right up to the 8.5. And the beginning of the necklace comes down to the start of the 1 inch. So now we can start crimping. Okay, to start crimping our necklace, we're going to look at the strand of wire that we used. We used 49 Beadalon. We used 0.015 inch, 0.38 millimeters. So we're going to look at the back and find those measurements, which is right here. And then this will tell us what size crimp bead we need. We need a number 1 in a round circle or a number 2 in a tube. I'm going to use the number 1 circle crimp beads. So I need 2 of these, 1 for each side. Okay, starting with my crimp bead, I'm going to put that on my wire. Then I'm going to add my toggle. And coming back down my crimp bead, I'm going to push it through, making sure that my wires aren't crossed. Like that. Then I'm going to pull it down. And I'm going to crimp. I'm going to give this a little room because I want my toggle to have enough room so it's not so stiff around my neck. So I'm going to give it a little room in here. And then I'm using a pocket crimper. I find that this works well with my hands because I have small hands. So there's notches on here. There's a front notch and a back notch here. So first I'm going to put the crimp into my back notch, which is this one. And then I'm going to press it down. And then I'm going to rotate my crimper and come up so it's vertical. And I'm going to use the front notch and press that in. Okay, once I finished crimping that, I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to go through my larger bead, pull it out, and now I can cut my wire. So before I crimp this side, I want to make sure that the necklace has some play in it. You know, it's not so stiff. It has movement. So I'm going to make sure that I have movement in my necklace. Then I'm going to add my crimp bead. I'm going to add my toggle. I'm going to come back down through my crimp, making sure that my wires are not crossed here at the top. Pull it down. I'm going to hang on to the crimp bead and my wire and toggle because I want to make sure that my necklace is not stiff and I didn't pull it too tight. So it looks okay. Then I'm going to make sure that I have some room at the top for my toggle to move. And I'm going to go ahead, use my pocket crimper. I'm going to come up a little closer to this bead. Use my back notch. Press it down. Rotate my pliers. Press it down with my front notch. Use my wire. Go through my large bead. Pull that through. And cut off the excess. And there you have your beautiful sunshine necklace. Thanks for joining me. See you again next time.